Alright, everyone, welcome to a brand new series here on the channel. This is Esports Godfather. This is a relatively new esport management simulator. It's broken into both a management simulation game as well as a hex-based card game. I think we're just going to get right on into it. We are going to be starting up a new game. Alright. We have a lot of settings to go through to start a new game. Each of these menus has a bunch of settings that you do want to go through. I just went through all of them and got everything set up, so I will run through what we are going to be playing on. You can come back into the settings after beginning and change some of them. I'm not 100% sure on which ones are changeable, which ones aren't. If there are things we want to change over the course of the playthrough, I will see if I'm able to change them, if we want to make adjustments. AI teams, their players are going to grow at a similar rate to ours. Just so that we're never really getting too far ahead of anyone. They're going to be starting at a medium level of skill. And we're going to be playing on normal difficulty, both in pick ban and in the actual playing phase of matches. I'm not amazing at the game. A lot of, just because of when I got it, I've gotten to a certain point and then had to restart a couple times with updates. So, I know how the game plays. I know a decent amount about some, but not enough to want to play on a higher difficulty yet. I am setting this to high, so it'll take longer to master heroes. Medium for the difficulty in gaining stuff, so growing attributes on players. Enlightenment, they'll be able to replace cards that they have, that they can add to the deck, be able to gain skills. Training points will be able to use for activities and management. Which I'm not 100% sure how much of it I'm going to show. I'll probably show it in this episode here. But I don't know if I'm going to have it in the normal episodes. It might just be the matches. But if people want to see the actual management side of the game as well, more than what I do end up showing, let me know in the comments, so I can always show more of that. Medium difficulty, growing followers. And the AI club players are going to master heroes at a medium rate. I don't know exactly what that, translates into mechanically. But hopefully it means not too fast, not too slow. I am not going to be using custom athletes for this. I am going to be using randomly generated ones. I'm also going to be using the recruitment. So we're going to be scouting for people to replace players that aren't as good. I'm giving myself 5 rerolls per position to get someone that's not entirely terrible to start with. The maximum amount of heroes that any one player is able to have in a hero pool at one time. We're just going to put that to maximum. And we are going to have heroes restricted to specific, they're pre-designated, I guess, lanes. This is very much in the style of MOBAs, like League or Dota, the game that the game is tied to, I guess. We are gonna have career life decay on. I don't know how much it increases with age. The older the athlete, the greater the extra decay value. Okay. Attribute decay tied to age, yes. Yeah, I'm hoping this isn't too short, but it's also not too long. I do wish some of these, it would, like, actually just, like, let you, like, pick from a slider of just numbers. Rather than abstract descriptions. But we are gonna have, career life active, so when this, hits 0, players will retire. It's gonna increase faster the older they are. They're gonna lose attributes based on their age. We have a slightly higher level of attribute decay, and it is going to be positively correlated to their potential. So athletes that have a higher potential in a specific attribute will lose less every time that rolls around. We are going to be have the option for objective fights. We are going to be able to set up our own play style, what route they take in the jungle, what HP they recall to the Nexus, or the base, I guess. I think it's called the Hexus or something silly. I think they call it the Nexus in a few places too, by mistake. I'm not going to have that turned on for the AI because I do not want to control what the computer does at all. I want to leave that up to the computer's own AI. If an attack misses, there's no damage, obviously. I am going to have a permanent recall card. It's a really, really useful, almost essential card to have in your deck. And if the game doesn't offer you one, you're just kind of fucked. And you will have a horrible time. So, giving ourselves one that costs 2, that will always be in our deck, is fine. We are going to have the option to use a 2-cost card to tell someone to defend a lane if a lane dies. It's not always going to be useful, but there will be times where we do want to not let a tower get pushed. And it also simulates an actual game a lot more. There are already issues I have, like people not defend, they'll just run off into their lane and not defend the base when it's getting attacked directly. I'm hoping that gets changed soon. We'll have to see. And we are not going to have heroes, yeah, literally, they call it the Nexus here. Heroes of the Nexus will not be participating in objective fights. That means we're going to have to be a little bit more strategic on energy management and when we recall people before big team fights. And units with low HP, if they're at 30% or lower, they will get a little bit of an increase to their presence, which is just how likely they are to be attacked by enemies. We are going to have a new minor rule added every month. There's going to be up to 3. They're going to get cleared at the end of a season. These can be minor changes or completely change the way we have to play the game. There is not going to be a survey for new rules. I do not feel as a team managing a team, we shouldn't really have a say in the league rules. That should be independent of our input. There's going to be a medium amount of equipments per version. Drop to gain 2 every minor version. And we're going to have a slightly longer gap between heroes getting added, but they are going to get unlocked in a random order. Which will be interesting. It means we're probably more likely to see heroes that I've never seen before, because I haven't played far enough into the game. or had a career running long enough. They're going to be 25 to start with, and every version will have minimum 3, maximum 5. We are not going to skip the Challenger Series. It's going to give me a chance to get used to our team and how we're going to have to play. Normal games, matches that we have are going to be best of 1, best of 3 for playoffs, best of 5 for finals. And we are going to be starting with 1 ban. There's nothing we can do about that. But starting in League 2, we'll go to 2, and League 1 will go to 5 bans. I am going to be having our matchups randomized. That way we can fight any difficulty of team at any time. I'm not sure about the sign fee and the salary, honestly, but it's like this until you switch it to hard. And it used to be too high to begin with, so I'm hoping that this is now the appropriate level. But, since we are going to be letting players cycle out, it's not as big of a deal in this playthrough as it would be if, like, we were making our own custom team and then didn't have enough money to retain them after, like, the first real season. We will have coach notes. We will be able to set different equipment sets between our athletes. We're not going to be using hero variants. And we are going to be starting with 50,000 in funding. God. Every time I see the character art in this game, I have to laugh. It does not really matter who we choose here. That is the most ridiculous yellow jacket I have ever seen in my life, and I love it. Alright. And, I'm gonna really quickly do this. Okay. After spending way too much time and trying to make way too many small tweaks, we finally have this done. That was 45 minutes of my life I'll never get back. But we have our logo, our team. We are going to be Sunbridge Gaming, SBG for short. We have our team logo made. There is legitimately no difference between who you pick. It is purely appearance. It literally does not matter, just like at all. Oh, that only changes the name. Literally, it's does not matter. Hello, Coach Silence, and I'm to be your assistant. In the future, I will assist you with handling various club affairs. He mostly is going to be popping up as, like, the voice of the narrator who is going to talk to us, to introduce new systems and mechanics, primarily on the management side of the game. So we won't be seeing a whole lot of him if people don't want to really see that part of stuff. But right now, he's going to ask us some questions to determine what type of players we are more likely to get when we are picking out our members for our team. So, what do we think is the most indispensable element for a team? Adaptability. I want them to be able to play in every version. What does my ideal team look like? Everyone has a unique advantage and creativity. What style of game do I like the most? Offensive. We are going to want to be aggressive in our plays. What is the most important ability for a player? Get something in there that should hopefully get someone who can farm. Do I have any more questions about the club affairs? I do not. So, I'm going to really quickly run through the athlete pages here. We are going to have 5 rerolls per position, like a traditional MOBA, like League or Dota. It's a top laner, a jungler, a mid laner, a bottom laner, and a support playing bot. Each player is going to have a bunch of attributes, which are going to determine how they perform in-game. We can see if we go into the rules for the game, it does actually break everything down, complete with percentages of how much that stat is going to actually impact. So, for example, if you're calculating for fight hit, you're going to take your mechanics attribute, multiply it by 0.4, and that is going to be the value that mechanics is going to add towards the actual fight hit value, etc. And each of these stats has their own breakdown in what they impact and what rates they are going to impact that. There's also, if I go back in here, there's offensive and defensive scaling power as well. That means the more gold we get, the more attack power and the more HP passively the champions these people are playing are going to have. But they're all going to start relatively low. This is actually kind of high compared to some of the others I've seen. And we're going to be improving them from there. Each player is also going to have a match trait. This is going to be active during matches. So in this case, extra farming efficiency before the 50th round. And they have no cards being added. None of their cards are added to the deck. And then on the 50th round, all of their cards get added to the discard pile. That's kind of bad, to be honest. And then they're each going to have a routine trait. This is going to have more impact, really, in between matches on the management side and on training. Each player is going to have a pool of heroes that they are going to be able to play. And as heroes get used, I'll kind of introduce what they do. And then they're also going to have their hero pool limit. That's how many heroes they can have, maximum. Versatility is going to impact how many play styles they can have. So eventually all the players are going to get skills. The versatility is going to let them run different sets of skills for different situations. These are the potentials. The higher the potential, the lower they're going to lose in between seasons for the decline. It also impacts what their maximum is, so D-, not very good. As well as a bunch of traits. I'm going to go through the players. I am going to get everything sorted. And I will come back when I know who we're going to have on the team. Alright. Folks, I think we have settled on the members of our team here. I did use a reroll 4 times. Now, I will say, I also did have to go back and remake it, just because I did end up changing the hero introduction pattern to being static. There are a lot of champions that were starting off released that I have not ever seen before. And I figured it would be better if at least knew a little bit going in. But this is our top laner, Kaiseyun. Or Kaiseyun, I'm not 100% sure. This does come from a Chinese developer, so a lot of the names or the handles or whatnot, I believe were probably submitted from the community and probably a lot of people that are from that area submitting. But this is our top laner, starting off with a really good farming, pretty good defense for a starting player stats. Technical excellence is going to be really good. It's just going to make her more effective overall, both in the field and eventually endgame and scaling and farming. Muscle Enthusiast isn't great. Big improvement for offense and mechanics, which revolve around hit percentages, but everything else is going to be decreased. A decent starting hero pool. Again, I will explain the heroes when they get used for the first time. And pretty good adaptability. I don't really have many mages that I want to run in top lane that I know about yet, so should be fine. I'm not thrilled on Mysterious. I don't know what it's going to be. And Team Spirit is never going to get particularly high, but overall, good potential, especially in defense. 110 in offense, mechanics, and farming is also really good as well, and a good hero pool limit. This is Bokoku. This is going to be our jungler. Again, very defensive, very farming oriented. Even worse than all the other stats, but they will increase quickly at the beginning. Their cards are going to have one less cost for the first time they're played. Will gain increased experience towards experience for attributes and enlightenments, which will handle the cards. A lot of good jungle champions in the jungle pool. Good versatility, so I'm curious to see what that eventually lets us do with them. And how that works, because I haven't had that before. Not a bad hero limit with, for the most part, pretty good adaptation rates to the different types that I'd want them to be using, like assassins, tanks. Fighter D is not great. Gladiator, marksman. Everything else is okay. Great overall potential. Amazing potential. But they're going to be really expensive if we want to keep them. We can't recruit anyone else for the position without them getting angry, and everyone is going to hate them. But other than that, Bokoku, great jungler. Here we have Allure Love. I actually did not reroll my mid. The opening stats are fine, but Evolving AI is going to be really good if we can get it stacked up. And getting extra training points is also going to be really useful. Just a universal 10% boost to our training points. I'm not in love with the hero pool. That can be fixed over time, though. And there's at least a couple that I like running mid there. And, yeah, a good hero pool limit. He's never gonna get, like, super happy, but he's gonna be easier to keep. And his mechanic potential isn't great, which means he'll probably might drop him before the end of his career life. But everything else is really good. Alright. Bot lane, we have Keyboard as our bot laner. For every 500 gold, is going to increase farming efficiency, which is okay. Really low mechanics and reflexes, but everything else is at an okay state, and they will improve rather quickly. At least up to a usable level. Champion Dream, win the playoffs or finish the regular season in first place. A substantial amount of coach points is awarded. Yeah, we should be able to do that. It'll be interesting to see how much it is. It's not amazing. Not a bad hero pool. I personally don't love all of the champions. They're not the ones I tend to go for, but they are all good or usable. And yeah, very, very good potential. That's a weird trait to have. It just makes them less liked when they join the club, but they're going to be more liked because they're humble, and they're going to be easier to satisfy. So overall, Keyboard's going to be a great pickup, and I think we're going to probably keep her on long term as our kind of staple ADC. And then we have Asayume in support position. Very offensively focused to start. I don't know how this is exactly going to work. I've never had this trait before. It says the athlete's cards return to the draw pile when played, and from the first deployment, gain a charge for each 8 rounds, max 2. I think the charges get consumed when the cards are played and go back. Not positive. And then Stunning Beauty is going to increase the fans for both the player as well as the franchise, the team, which is going to be super useful in filling out the stadium when we get it. Because unless people want to see the management side, again, that's not really going to be coming into play in the series, but I'm going to be having to worry about the money. Good hero pool for support. Great hero pool limit. I mean, support A, tank B. That's already really, really good. It's going to have multiple styles. Not the greatest defense potential. Everything else is really good. Loyal to the team. Is going to gain more followers already. So with Stunning Beauty, I'd be shocked if Asime was not our highest fan person. Or the player with the most fans. Emotions are going to be devastated when we lose, but we'll try not to do that. But that is our team. We are going to move forward. Again, I am going to show this stuff for this episode. In the club, you're looking at the list of players in front of you. The 5 players you selected are standing nervously in front of you. There's a silence in the coaching room. You can hear the heavy breathing of a player. You hear someone gulp in the corner of the coaching room. Alright, it's decided to be you guys. On hearing your words, the players' tense hearts finally relaxed. Great. From today onwards, I'll start competing. You should have been competing before now. Competitive journey starts today. It should have started before now. She's nervous. Don't be too nervous. We're a new team as long as you can follow my lead. Now, this is just kind of the introduction to, like, this, like, it's presented on, like, what's supposed to be a cell phone. The call concluded. They're like little mini events. We're not really going to see any of them in the series, because they're all going to be stuff that I'm getting on the management side between matches. They'll be able to give me benefits like training routines, which we'll see here today. Challenger Series kickoff, month 8, week 3, year 1. We have completed all the procedures for registering our club, and we're going to enter the Cyber Cafe selection competition. Our goal is the championship. Alright. So we need to get a certain amount of fans in 6 matches to qualify. We shouldn't have any problem with that. It looks like our first match is going to be against Flame Pirate. I wish there was a way to get the gradient style of coloring for the logos like you make, but you can only do static color. I was not able to find a way to do a gradient of any kind. This shows us absolutely no information right now because there is no information to show. It will eventually show the 3 top played champions of a team, as well as their average kills per game, the percentage of games they get first blood, first tower, the percentage of dragon fights they win, and the average number of rounds it takes for the games they are in to end. We will not be seeing much of this probably, but this is the training screen. Eventually they will get more columns for routines to go into. You get training routines for a bunch of different things. You can either buy them on a random basis, or you can get them randomly as rewards for some of those. The options you can choose in those conversations, some of them will give fans, some of them will give training points or coaching points or experience. There's a whole bunch of things they can be. Now, I do think for the first one, we are just going to increase the offensive mechanics for our bot laner. We will have our support use training partner. So courses that are in the same column are going to be more effective. This one has something similar. If there's another damage in team fights routine, training routine in the same column, it has a better effect. There's a bunch of them that have all kinds of different effects that I'm going to be fiddling with in the background. Nice, critical success is really nice. A lot of critical successes in the first one, too. So that impacts the experience they get each week, our players. And you can see with the experience, you know, like the going up 1 level from 14 to 15, going up 6 levels from 4 to 10. Again, the ones that were really low will go up really quickly at the beginning. But after our training, it is time for our very first match. We are going to do the very first match of the Challenger Series today. And on this screen, it's giving us a comparison, the number of fans each team has, a rough letter grade, estimating the strength of that lane, as well as the strength and depth of hero pool of the team's players. And then you can see roughly on here, like it looks like we slightly edge out over there. The darker area, there's a bright blue outline around it, but that darker area in the middle is the red one. So if they were better in mid lane, you'd see red sticking out here up the top, etc. It looks like, yeah, Yakumo and Melon, no faith. No faith. They don't believe in us to win. And it's not going to matter as much here in the Challenger Series again, but this is now it's going to give us a breakdown player by player. Kind of a comparison. We can see their different stats, their different scaling rates, their best heroes, their match trait, and we're going to be able to see that for everyone. Again, it's not going to matter as much in the Challenger Series. But now we are in pick ban. Right now, we're only going to have 1 ban, so it's really just going to be who do I not want to fight against that I see them having on their team. I don't want to face Aurelio. And they got rid of Bang. That is fine by me. Who do I prioritize as a pick here? It's interesting. I don't know exactly what type of comp I want to go. Let's throw Wolfgang up top. They took Justice and Tiger Boy. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to see the opponent's heroes. So quick rundown. If I can find one that has one. Alright, so the heroes in the game have abilities broken down into 3 kind of classes. There's the Instinct, which are passives. Those are always in effect. There are... here's one. There are Instincts, which are passives that are always in effect. There are field effects that are in effect during the card playing and hex-based phase of the game. And there are fight effects that trigger in the fight. So, Tiger Boy, in fights, whenever he attacks a target, they are going to be stunned. And then after he has stunned them, they're going to be immune to being stunned by him again for the rest of the fight. Justice, when she attacks with cards or in battle, she's going to get stacks. And at 4 stacks, she's going to get a passive that is going to allow her to perform an execute. And I will explain mine when we actually get to the next screen. I'm going to take Hakuna and Deep Space. Okay. Elmi is a ranged attacker. Has good pushing capabilities, and every round will attack 2 targets. The second shot does less, but it does more it does twice as much damage as it normally would if it hits the same target as the first shot. Kamatachi, every time 5 of your cards enter the discard pile, he will attack an enemy hero that's adjacent to him. And in a fight, every 5 actions taken by other units, they'll immediately perform another attack, which sucks with Elmi because her attacks are going to count as 2 actions for him. It's not an amazing blue game. We're gonna take Dylan, and then we'll take... I'll take Burial. I'll take Burial for this game. Okay, and they took Kid. When a hero dies in a fight, Kid is going to heal. Is going to gain stacks of Verdict, which leech their stats and give them to Kid. He's also going to mark a target, prioritizing a melee unit, so either Wolfgang, Hakuna, or Burial in our case. And if they attack someone else, he gets a free attack on them. Okay, I was correct. We cannot see our opponent's heroes. But this is why I waited to explain ours. Every hero has a class, which impacts their scaling, HP, and attack per level. You can see, like, 1568, 1568. You can see their per gold being the same. Now, there is going to be some differences, though, in their exact scaling, simply because they scale slightly differently if they're ranged or if they are melee, which you can see as well. And also if they're dealing physical damage, magic damage, or hybrid damage. It's primarily going to impact the type of equipment that they can bring. We're able to see the mastery tree, which we can't actually see it right now, but eventually we will after the first match. It's like it improves the scaling of the heroes, the attack, and the HP they get per level. Different changes to some of their cards. We can look at all of their effects again. And then we can also set the HP they'll recall to base, as well as for a jungler, what their jungle route will be. Which can be useful depending on what we're anticipating the enemy doing. Now, going over my heroes real quick. These are the cards that they're going to add in. And I'll kind of explain them as I use them. But Wolfgang, if he hits on the field, he absorbs 10% of the target's attack power and 15 of their armor, so they lose that, he gains it. Same deal in a fight. If he hits an opponent, he will put a debuff on them. That will steal their attack power and their armor, and on the field, it lasts until the end of the round. In a fight, it lasts until the end of the fight, regardless of how long the fight goes. So the longer the fight goes, the stronger he is going to become. He's also a pretty bulky melee fighter. And a hybrid damage for equipment. One thing I can explain actually here, you'll see the cards down here. They all have their own different effects. Blue are kind of like field cards, or effect cards. Red cards, you see, are initiate cards. They start fights. So it is important to keep an eye on those, because we do need those if we want to start a fight on the actual field outside of objectives. Hakuna is a physical tank, and on his first attack in a fight, he's going to do a special attack that does percentage damage to the target, and half of that damage to all other enemies in the fight. His big thing is he can charge into enemy heroes to relocate them, and he has a big, massive AoE fight initiation, Dominant Onslaught, and he will get a copy of Plunder for every enemy that dies in the fight. Plunder being a free card that deals 2 damage to turrets from anywhere. So he's very, very good for pushing. Mid, we have Burial. He can gain shield and do a short shift, and also use that to search for his initiation card. And in a fight, he's going to have a 60% increased critical hit rate on the first attack. He has a 40% increased critical hit rate when he has a shield, and he gains a shield equal to a percentage of the damage dealt. It's kind of why I was looking at Palulu, who does shields, but our bot lane, we have Deep Space. Has a lower presence, so less likely to get attacked. At the start of the fight, he's going to gain 2 stacks of full firepower, which is going to give him attack power and get removed when he takes damage. And he gains a stack if he took no damage during the round in the fight. No initiation, but a lot of field hit. And then we have Dylan. He has a gimmick where if he has balance in his hand, you don't have to pay a gold cost to play his other cards. But if you don't, they all cost him gold, which can set him back. But Green Bottle and Red Powder both have permanent effects, and Blue Pill will increase farming until the target dies, and they can all stack. Is also a ranged support. So yeah, you can see it's kind of introducing the game. The round is really small, it's down here. Starting in the 11th round, though, you start drawing a card every round and gaining a strategy point. When you have 8 strategy points or more, after your draw, the game will pause and let you play cards. Red has the advantage in the pick ban phase, so blue will always play first if at the end of the round both players can play cards. You can also see the counters for the different objective fights. Right now there's Dragon and Herald. In 12 turns, there will be a dragon fight involving bot, support, and jungle. And the team that wins the fight will get a treasure card the next deployment phase, which is just the next time they have enough strategy points to play cards. And then in 22 turns, we're going to have a Herald fight with, it looks like, mid, jungle, and top. So, what do we want to do here? Alright, here's within 1 hex. I'm not in love with my hand. I can try to get a kill on bot, though. And approach from my jungle. If I approach from their jungle, their tower will be able to get involved in the fight, and that would destroy me. Do I want to drop a missile? This is going to be a 3-round fight. I think I do want to drop a missile just to try to secure the kill. At least onto Tiger Boy. But this is a 4v2. They don't have... We also don't have a lot of attack power yet. It's still really early in the game. So, this is the fight. I will increase the speed a little bit in a second, but this is one of Dylan's effects. Choose an ally hero. They gain 20% of Dylan's attack power, 30% of his critical rate. No, they gain 20% of... Sorry, I'm misspeaking. They gain 20% of Dylan's attack power added to their own. And then they also gain 30% crit rate and 30% critical damage flat. That is going to go on to Deep Space. And now we have an auto battler where you can see the characters involved in the fight are going to take turns picking a target based on a little bit of chance and RNG, and also based on the presence level. And then after everyone is attacked, the round will end. And after all the rounds have been completed, the fight will end. We did get first blood. That's very nice. I'm gonna turn it up to 3 times, just so we're not stuck in fights forever. But we did get the kill. We did confirm the kill, and we confirmed it onto Elamy, which is nice. He is blinking red. That means he is at low health threshold, which means that on their next turn outside of deployment stage, he is going to recall back to base to heal. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. We get final shot after using our Into the Breach card, which we can use to clear jungle camps. Over here, we can also see all the match traits of our players, as well as, like, how far along they are, what the bonuses they're giving are currently. And if at any time we wanted to, we could hover over the cards to read what they do, and it pauses the AI from playing cards, it pauses the rounds from continuing, etc. And you don't have to use all of your points. Like, the AI just used 3 points and saved the rest. Okay, well, Burial is probably absolutely dead in mid. I do not believe there's any way he survives 4 rounds here. No. So it is a kill onto Kama Itachi. Okay. It's better than it going onto Elemi. And you can see this one says single use. So it's removed when played. So they will not have any more... this copy of Perfect Opportunity that the Kama Itachi player added to the deck that the AI is using, that's gone permanently now for the rest of the game. Okay. How do we want to do this? We are gonna grab you. We will charge to get a shield. I probably should have poked first. It's fine. I'm really hoping I can confirm this kill. And not get executed by justice. I don't think they'll do enough damage to get an execute. Oh my god, come on, yes. Okay, Elemi's dead. As soon as I use the attack. 6 HP. A, that's obnoxious. B, I'm perfectly fine with the kill going to Burial instead. And just giving the money to mid lane. And then we will final shot. I understand that I am just continually kind of counter-jungling myself here, but there's not a lot I can do about that. It's going onto mid lane. And you know what? I'll just keep telling myself that that's a good use of the money, considering... Okay. You know what? Roam over. Poke. And that is going to be a 3v1 against Justice. Does have her execute, but shouldn't be able to kill anyone. I don't really care who gets the kill here. But I do need to stop her from just continuing to push down mid. What are the current version turret healths? Now, I didn't get first tower, unfortunately, but we did get top tower pushed. And we have a team fight for Dragon. I don't know if they take this or not. They did not take the fight. So we're gonna get that reward for free. like we should be... yeah, we are up in gold by 1,400 at the moment. Okay. Now, if you see, the AI just ended their deployment phase without doing anything. They got another point. It'll do that up until you get 10 points. You can go above 10 with card effects and ability effects, etc. But the game will not feed you more than 10 strategy points before making you start playing cards. Or at least they'll before they stop giving you points to play more cards with. We'll give everyone some money. Let's actually think here for a second. Plan B to draw 2. Discard the rightmost 3. Let's play Precision Airstrike first. Okay, quick thinking. Jeez, really? It's not great. I think we just cut our losses there. And we just wait till we have enough points. We at least forced Tiger Boy out of lane. And we can keep pushing on bot turret now. Burial's probably super dead here. I hate how often they always seem to have perfect opportunity cards. They always have the perfect chance to use them. Yep, there's the execute, but it did clear Justice's execute, so okay. But we did lose him for Herald. I don't think we take that fight. I think we just lose it because of Kamatachi's damage and the execute. Okay. We're up to 8. I think I use it. So this is the big kick that Deep Space has, is the volley card. It spawns 2 missiles into your hand. And then you discard all missile cards, and for every missile card you discarded, you get to launch a missile at a random enemy. We are at 8 missiles right now, I believe, if I'm reading that correctly. It might say 6. We'll be at 8 after. Oh, do I pop it now? I think I pop it now. Okay, I didn't get the targeting I wanted. I wanted more on bot lane, so I could try to take them out. No such luck. We'll give up 200 gold to green bottle up Wolfgang, and we'll end it there. There goes their bot turret. Yep. They're trying to push into the base. Now, once a inner turret goes down for either team, the opposing team will get a card in their hand called Close the Game. And if you initiate the fight and you completely kill the enemy team during the time... Yep, there goes Deep Space. If you completely kill the enemy team during the time limit of the fight, you win the game. Yeah, I can't take the dragon without deep space. Which is annoying, but it's fine. Devouring Soul. We have a full team fight dragon in 19 rounds. I think we end there. We did take mid tower. Precision airstrike to get some damage down on the bot. Let those drop off. Getting a red powder even if it costs us money. We're gonna green bottle even if it costs us money. Start pushing into the base on top. That's a 4 HP turret. That is not a very strong turret. Okay, it's their play. Okay, they're healing. Grabbing discarded cards. What are they going for? Oh, are they going for field hit on bot? No. Interesting. They kind of had an opportunity to. How do we do this? Let's initiate onto Justice. Because there should be no way that Justice survives this fight. We will give this to... Justice can't get the execute in time, so we'll give it to Deep Space. And that's a kill on to our bot laner. Which we absolutely will take. I think we end our turn there. If they... Alright, that's annoying. If they wait another turn... Ooh, okay. I think we come out ahead in this fight. I'm not gonna lie, I think... If we have good targeting, Kamatachi just dies. Come on. You idiot! Why would you not attack Kamatachi? Alright, he should not have lived, but he did. I know I have closed out the game in my hand. I'm waiting for a good opportunity, though. Kill 3 heroes in a dragon fight. I think we win this if... Yeah, they didn't take the fight. We're at 6. Interesting. Oh my god, really? Couldn't do enough, but we're gonna push them back. They got our bot. Or no, they got our mid turret. So they're on Nexus. I'm gonna have to close out the game soon. Actually, if they don't do anything too terrible here, we charge, because it's free. We get a shield. And our team is healthy, theirs is not. I think we go for the game close. And this is going to be going on to deep space, for sure. Almost dead. We're going to use this on Justice, because I want to get rid of the execution that's also going to kill Kamatachi. Now it's just a matter of our team targeting. We also need to get rid of Kid sooner rather than later. But now it just comes down to targeting. Kid is just getting stronger and stronger. Yeah, Deep Space does a lot of damage. He's just gaining strength every round, too, that he's not getting attacked. He's 2,000 attack power. A non-crit just did 1,400 damage. That's absolutely insane. Yep. Well, Sunbridge Gaming is going to win their first game. That is a great start for us. Now, because we did all the intro stuff at the beginning, this is going to be a longer episode than normal. Normally, it will just be, like, from the roll-up into the match and through to the end of the match. But I did want to kind of show off at least a little bit of the rest of the game and the other stuff that is going to be happening behind the scenes in this first episode. Yeah, a current error that happens, there's a delay in the MVP screen coming up. It can crash the game if you try to do anything before it finishes loading. But it looks like Hakuna was the MVP, which is our jungler. Bokuku was the MVP for this game. Did get a vote for Deep Space, though. And we get to see some caster comments, general comments. They're designed to look like tweets and whatnot. We can see the score that everyone in the different lanes got based on their overall performance. We can also see comments for different people if we wanted to. And again, we can see the KDAs. We can see the damage everyone dealt. we can see how much damage everyone took. We can see the gold everyone had. We can see the hero gold scales. We can see the team gold. If they were in the lead, it would be going down this way in red. And then after each match, all of our players gain experience. Depending on their performance, they gain experience distributed between different stats differently. We'll eventually see them, but we'll have medals that'll increase the XP and the levels they gain. A lot of level gains right now because everyone is absolute garbage. They do not break 100 skill. But they also gain experience on the heroes that they played on, which is that mastery tree, and we'll get to see that in just a second. Mechanics, offense up a lot. Good reflex increase. Good reflex increase on you. Defense. Yeah, just overall good increases on all of our athletes. We can see their increase in followers. We get training points after each match. So we finally have some of those. We have coaching points you saw from the achievement thing that popped up. So we'll be able to start using those as well. And now we're going to get to go through all of the hero mastery stuff. So you can see our top laner became an intermediate player on Wolfgang in terms of mastery. So they're going to get extra attack power and HP per level. On the next mastery level, we'll be able to add an effect to the Devouring Soul card. Extra attack power and HP. Next level, we're going to get an increase to the percentage damage dealt on the special attack at the beginning of combat. Slightly different ratios, but again, it's scaling. And then we can impact missiles damage. And then these are the enlightenments. These are the cards the player themselves adds to our deck, separate from the ones that their champion will add. What do we want to do here? In the next deployment phase, search for an initiate card of the owner hero and add to your hand. The duration of the fight is increased by a round. Also spawn one roam in your hand. Okay. Then the next, we choose a location within 1 hex. Okay, so this is basically planting us in place. We're not going to be moving or farming or repositioning for at least 4 rounds. And then we're going to get an initiate. I don't think I want any of these, honestly. Confrontation is a very short fight, so you need to be really far ahead or have like a really, really good setup for it to really be useful. Our support also got enlightenment. I mean, none of these are amazing. Maybe, you know, I'll take ratting over push. It's very situational, but if the enemy has been pushed out of lane, we can try to fast push bot tower with that. And then you see we replace push, add ratting. And that is going to be where we are going to wrap it up for this episode, folks. If everyone did enjoy, please do consider subscribing, consider leaving a like on the video. I'm a small channel. I am trying to grow. It really helps out a lot. And I'm a big fan of this game. I really, really have been enjoying this game ever since I found it. So I'm really hoping people enjoy watching the series. But yeah, folks, thanks for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed. I'm really hoping you did, because I really want this this series to do well. Really would like this game to get some more positive attention. But folks, I will see you in the next episode. Peace.